reporting the Sixers are budgeting to re-sign and keep a new Big Four. Of course, Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris can walk this summer. Do you think, Tracy, this plan to keep the Big Four together is something, nothing, or everything?
This is everything. You're talking about a team that can compete for a championship right now. These four guys together, they're young. They all can play. We're talking about possibly four All-Stars on one team. This is everything.
Yeah, so if you're going to trade for Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris when they're free agents to be, you're doing it with the expectation that you're re-signing
And you
them.
can give them both more money than anyone else can.
And you can give them 5 years.
Right.
And
Both of them?
Yes.
That's a big factor here. So
Their bird rights, correct?
yes, you already got Embiid. By the way, he's about to qualify and get his full contract guaranteed. You got him on a max. I sort of see Tobias Harris and
Yep.
I see Tobias Harris and Jimmy Butler getting max or near max, and in a couple years here, you got Ben Simmons headed. He's an all-star. He's headed for the max. You could have a $300 to $400 million payroll, and don't forget, J.J. Redick is also a free agent. I don't know if they want to replace him or not, but if they would be able to keep him too, they could be headed for the highest payroll in the NBA next year.
Well, look, they have an owner who said he wants to spend if he thinks they can actually have a championship-level team. I agree with you, shout out Elton Brand, because, look, we don't know for sure if this is going to work. There's no way to ever know for sure. We do know you have to take your best shot. And what I like about Philadelphia is a couple years ago, they had, I guess, maybe it was last year. Things move so fast in this league. They had the salary slot open. Nobody really was interested in them. LeBron didn't give them a meeting, right? They got a meeting with Rich Paul. That was their big thing last summer. And they basically realized, you know what? Even with our young talent, we are not at the top of the free agent destination list. So we are going to start acquiring these guys through trade, where, again, we will have the advantage of hometown
10-second subtopic
in the summer.
10-second subtopic?
Tatum, man.
10-second subtopic. They've gone all in.
They have.
Would they trade Markelle Fultz while they're at it by tomorrow?
I mean, it depends. Can you get anything for Markelle Fultz right now?
I forgot all about him.
You didn't, because you just brought up Jason Tatum. Let's get you ready for what's in store in the NBA tomorrow. The team with the best record in the NBA, the Bucks, made a minor move today. Milwaukee agreeing to send Thon Maker to the Pistons for Stanley Johnson, the fourth-year player out of, say it again, producer Danny, Arizona, known most for his defense, Woj is reported citing league sources. Remember, Thon had requested a trade last month. Giannis told our Cassidy Hubbard today it was like losing a little brother, which is sad, but I think obviously Giannis knew he wanted to leave. Do you think this is something, nothing, or everything, Brian?
It's something, but it involves a guy that's not mentioned there, which is DJ Wilson, their rookie. They believe that he's going to play key minutes under pressure, and it's really a vote of confidence in him in moving Maker.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for Thon Maker. I mean, I think he's a guy with a tremendous upside, and obviously he didn't have the opportunity that he wanted in Milwaukee. So going to the Pistons, hopefully he gets that. A guy like Stanley Johnson, top 10 pick, didn't work out for him. So I think
again in Milwaukee.
Yeah, tried in Milwaukee. I think he'd be a solid defender for them.
Okay. All right, let's move on to Memphis, because Marc Gasol cleaning out his locker last night before the game.
Sad.
Trade rumors would be an understatement there. Grizzlies fans giving him a big hand when he appeared on the bench during the game. Mike Conley also having some emotional moments in this game. Memphis reportedly close to dealing Gasol to Charlotte last night. Is this something, nothing?
Initially, I thought it was something,
everything?
but I think it's everything because he grew up in Memphis, and I think the end of an era has come for him. He's done well for that organization, well loved around there in Memphis, and you know, obviously
from Memphis, essentially. I mean, no, he's from Spain, but he's essentially Memphis.
So if you're cleaning out your locker, management has come down and told you that, you know, we're working out a trade, and you know, so I think it's everything.
The holdup here, from what I've been told, is the draft pick. There's going to be a draft pick going from Charlotte to Memphis. What the protection on that pick is going to affect what players get exchanged. So I still think there's a good chance this is going to happen, but obviously it's been delayed. The Mike Conley situation has gotten very interesting.
I'm super interested in all of this, by the way, because are these two guys the next best available free agents after Anthony Davis? Not free agents, sorry, trade.
Definitely.
Trade prospects?
I think Conley, what happens with him?
So this is pretty huge.
So Utah was making some progress in acquiring him, and I think that would have been a tremendous deal for Utah. Mike Conley's agent has made it known that Mike Conley does not want to play in Utah.
How come?
I think the message he wants is that if he's going to be traded, he'd prefer to go to the Eastern Conference. And so now
that's so interesting.
So now now Memphis is working on deals with Detroit and Toronto. And let me just say, Toronto would be Kyle Lowry, and Lowry has a possibility that he could end up in Salt Lake City. Now there's a lot of moving around here. Kyle Lowry, 5-time All-Star for the Raptors. He is definitely concerned about being traded by tomorrow. But Mike, this is just the player era of power. Anthony Davis says, I don't want to play somewhere. Mike Conley can say, I don't really want to play in Utah.
So is that because he's sick of not making all-star teams? Because
he's going to have to articulate that himself. I just know that.
Not getting far in the playoffs. If you play in the West, look, it's a tougher environment for all of those individual and team goals. Some guys want to be in that. Some guys are like, you know what? I've done it for a long time. No one has fought harder than Mike Conley. No one's going to question his grit.
Toronto, would Toronto really be willing to swap out Kyle Lowry for Mike Conley?
Kyle Lowry. They're the same age, right?
Lowry has one year fewer on his contract, but
I think there's a year difference.
I don't know if Toronto's going to do this, but the sides have talked about it for sure. And Detroit. Remember Ed Stefanski, who's the GM in Detroit, came from Memphis, so he has connections there. So we'll keep an eye on that whole situation.
Kyle Lowry, by the way, was asked by the media about potentially being traded, and he was like, I mean, look. After everything he's seen in the last year,
and said
to me about this organization, he said maybe 8 times. I counted in the 2 paragraphs of text I read him saying it's a business. You know they're going to do what they're going to do. That's the best for the organization. So Kyle Lowry's eyes are open now.
Everybody's happy at the trade deadline.